kids, we're back. Long time no see. My apologies for the wackadoo hiatus. Life has just been wackadoo crazy, and I can't wait to fill you in. Since moving out, so much in my life has changed. So much in myself also has changed. It's been a crazy time for me, being on my own for the first time. Not only that, but also out of the country, out of the continent. Like, I don't know, there's just something extremely terrifying, but also liberating, but also like, what the frick about living on your own abroad. And that's why I am documenting these days and sharing them with you, because these past several months have been such a valuable and eye-opening experience, and also just like incredibly transformative for me, and hopefully that inspires others to take the same steps, because honestly it has been so worth it. This, like, oh my goodness, life has just been so beautiful and amazing and just absolutely perfect, as difficult and scary as it was in the beginning, and it honestly still is incredibly difficult. But like, me telling you this now just goes to show that there is always hope, and it does get better, and the hard things in life are absolutely worth it. So if I can inspire at least one person, then I think I'm doing a pretty good job here. So with that, I would like to introduce to you the rest of this vlog, being life in Edinburgh.
Nonsense. You're meddling in things that ought not to be meddled in.
That's totally barbaric. Oh, I know what that is. That's an invisibility code.
Show yourself.
Show yourself. Can you imagine you're being intimidated by someone and they're just trying to decide where your loyalty is?
I'm gonna preface the rest of this vlog with that it's not that interesting. Honestly, I'd rather share a thoughtful, realistic few days in the life rather than like the most extravagant, exciting vlog, you know, because it can be so easy to forget that most things you see online are fabricated and, you know, curated. Life isn't like that on the day-to-day, and I think it's important for us to be reminded of that, because it's so easy to get caught up in what we're not doing. That's something I feel like I've been struggling with a lot lately, is like seeing people online doing things that I'm like, oh, I wish I was doing that, when in reality I'm also perpetuating like a similar image with what I share on my social media. Specifically on Instagram, I think it's a little bit easier to like showcase the mundane and like whatever on YouTube, but I can only imagine like if I feel this way about people sharing their travels and like their lives abroad and all these things. That's literally exactly what I'm doing as well. But this just goes to show you that it's not all rainbows and butterflies and sparkly funness, okay? It's also like journaling in bed. It's also doing your laundry. It's also making yourself dinner after going to the gym. Like, that's exactly all that I have filmed during this time. So if it makes you feel any better, this is what most of my days look like. started reading The Alchemist. I picked it up in a charity shop because I want to get back into reading, but nothing lately that I've been trying to read anyways has really stuck with me. So I figured it would make sense to go back to a book that I have read that I did enjoy to maybe get me inspired. And holy heck, have I been inspired? Here's a little quote that I read from the book. Whoever you are, or whatever it is that you do, when you really want something, it's because that desire originated. I typed it. I typed it out wrong. Frick me. Let's try that again. Whoever you are, or whatever it is that you do, when you really want something, it's because that desire originated in the soul of the universe. It's your mission on Earth. And man, like, simple words, but also, like, period. At the time that I left, I really didn't know what it was that I wanted my life to be like. But after being here, I know for a fact that I had to be here. Otherwise, I have really no idea what else I would be doing back home. I mean, I probably would have been doing the same things as I was before I left, which wasn't entirely the most fulfilling. Like, it was fine, and I was okay with it at the time, but I wouldn't want that to be my life forever. Moving away from home has taught me that there is so much more life to live than you could even realize. And I highly would recommend moving abroad, or even just like moving to a new city in your country. If you can and you have the means to do so, absolutely do it. Absolutely do it. You learn so much about yourself and about the world, which feels a bit cliche, but like, you really don't realize it until you're literally 3,000 miles from where you grew up. In case it wasn't obvious enough, just by glancing at the background here, my room is a freaking mess. Now I just took a shower. I'm feeling like a good and happy human, ready to tackle the rest of my chores. Well, for the most part. But I lost my train of thought. Good and happy human, ready to tackle chores for the most part. Anyway, that's just what we're doing here. This is what a realistic reset looks like, okay? It's not looking at your phone first thing in the morning. It's emptying the dishwasher or doing your dishes or whatever. It's making yourself a nice breakfast. It's having a nice chill morning to yourself. And I know that's not possible for everyone every day, but when you have the chance for a slow morning, I think that's what constitutes a good morning in my books, which you just saw. And so to carry on into the afternoon, we're gonna do some cleaning. I also want to give you a little bit of context as to what I'm doing here, how I ended up here, and I guess kind of what my plans are moving forward, because I haven't really explicitly explained what the heck is going on. Basically, my best friend, Anna, and I decided it would be fun to live in Europe for a little bit. So we were like, okay, let's move to Europe. And so we did. We decided on the UK because the visa process is pretty easy. There's something called a youth mobility scheme that anyone between the ages of 18 and 30 or 35 or something can get if they are a citizen of a Commonwealth country, as am I, being from Canada. So we hopped right on that. The process was super duper easy, and we got our paperwork within 3 to 4 weeks of sending it off, which is honestly incredible and so lucky that it worked out, because I sent out my application early December and I only got my passport, like paperwork, whatever, 3 days before I left, back in the mail. And so that was a really stressful time period. It's really, really crazy also looking back on like the moments before we left, and also looking back on our early days, because so much has changed. And like I have so many like in hindsight moments that are slowly being realized for me. And so that's something I'll eventually probably share with you. I would love to do like things to know before moving to the UK kind of video as well. So if you have any questions or anything, you can let me know and I'll try to answer them in a video sometime in the near future, ideally before I leave, which is probably going to be 2 months from now, ish, a month and a half. I don't really know. I don't really know. I don't really know.